Hello again, it's your lovely leader Dump Truck here to enlighten you on a topic that's pretty important to me, this being why you shouldn't release goldfish into wild water. Now, disclaimer here, I have no university education on this topic, but this is just what I know from what educated people have told me, and I feel the need to spread the word. If you have any questions on how I got this information, my sources will be listed in the description below. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about these little men. The common goldfish, also known as the Aratus, that kind of sounds like an insult, is easily found in your local pet store in these tiny containers with way too many fish inside of it. Now, I don't know if it's like this elsewhere, but this is common practice here in America. And if you're anything like me, you constantly have to fight the urge to grab a bucket and dump these bad Jacksons into the nearest pond, lake, or river. It sounds nice and all until you realize these poor boys are domesticated and invasive. So if you don't die right away, they're gonna die within like a few weeks, or they're going to take over those waters. And I mean, they get pretty big. Just look at this man. He's huge. But that's not all I wanted to talk about here. In fact, I have 3 things that I would like to discuss. Number 1, what would actually happen. Number 2, what I would like to happen. And 3, if there were a survival situation, say a zombie apocalypse, could we sustain life on them? Let's say you actually did it. You ran to your local PetSmart and got a bucket of goldfish and set them free in your nearest lake. Well, here's the issue. Because this area is not used to this species of fish, they may bring in new bacteria that will kill off plants or other animals in the area. They may also reproduce to an extreme extent and eat all of the food, making it uninhabitable for other fish, of which the goldfish themselves will eventually die at dramatic rates, making more food for the turtles or other animals to gnaw on, then causing the species to spike and die off dramatically as well. If not that, their poop and dead little fish bodies will pollute the waters, causing algae blooms, which is a whole nother topic for another day. Just know that it's bad. The real problem is these pet stores that keep putting these fish into these situations. And it's not just goldfish, it's other fish too, like betta fish. Betta? You know, angry male fish, pretty fins. They get put into these tiny cups to sit and rot in for the rest of their short little lives. Then they advertise tiny tanks for them to live in, just like glass bowls for goldfish and betta. That's like putting a dog in a cardboard box. It's terrible. In general, a goldfish needs a minimum of 20 gallons to live happily. I know that's not in these tiny cereal bowls these kids been putting them in, but parents keep getting them so their kids can learn how to take care of a pet and then get confused on how they die in a week. That's not teaching your kids anything. Well, maybe about death, but little Timmy can take it. He's got his yellow belt. He's basically an adult now. Since we got a little off topic there, I'd like to bring us back around to our second talking point, that being what I want to happen with these fish. This shouldn't take too long. All I want to see is all of these fish grow to an ungodly size and have myths told about them. I want them to be the new Godzilla. I want them to evolve to be the next blue whale and then get so big it eats that whale. And as it keeps growing, we'll feel its movements within the earth until it finally grows to consume us all. So we can once and for all be the Golden Globe. Sorry, I had to put a dad pun in there. I'll stop, I swear, please. We can move on. Part 3. Can we survive a zombie apocalypse on these fish? Let's set some ground rules here. Animals aren't affected by whatever caused this zombie apocalypse. These fish would be used for eating purposes only. I'm not sure there are other practical uses for these fish, but I'm not Bruce from Nemo here, okay? Fish are not friends, they are solely food. So we need to see if these fish taste good, if there's enough calories in them to sustain life, and what other nutrients we can get from them. First, I found that goldfish really just taste like whatever they eat. So in the situation that you eat a goldfish straight from its sad little bowl, it'll probably taste absolutely awful. A quick way you can test this is if you take one of their pellets, put them in your mouth, and it'll probably taste pretty much exactly like that. But not all goldfish live in these tanks. Wild goldfish tend to eat whatever plants they have in that body of water, so they most likely will taste like any other wild fish. As for calories, domesticated goldfish only have about 0.003 calories, with 1 ounce being 8 calories. They won't give too much, but wild goldfish can be around 5 pounds, meaning that would be about 640 calories per 5-pound fish, which is pretty good. As for other nutritional facts, goldfish are pretty high in protein and low in carbohydrates, making them a surprisingly healthy meal to consume. And there are many ways to cook them, whether it be frying or baking. Hell, even their eggs can be used to consume, with some people taking their eggs from ponds and frying them up. If it were me in this apocalypse situation, I would probably set these guys up in my own pond and farm them. So the moral of the story is, don't release these goldfish into the wild. Get a big pond, put it in your backyard, put them in there, and eat them whenever there's a zombie apocalypse.